Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening and welcome to our call for tonight. And if you can hear me, please put well, you should be able to see me on YouTube. I think I'm pretty sure it looks like I'm live there on YouTube. So looks like we are fine there. And so if you have questions as we go along, please feel free to write them in the chat box there in YouTube. I will then see them, and I'm happy to answer your questions there. I'm also going to turn on my chat here inside of Restream, and then I'll be able to see you doubly well. So, um, so again, so what we're going to do tonight is really pick it up where we left off last week. And we're going to start with step one in the branding process. And as you know, this is Extreme Business Makeover. We do the in-depth session on Thursdays. And so if you want to sign up as an Ultimate Insider, get the in-depth session, make sure you do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about the starting point. And this is really where we want to get to step one of the branding process. It really does not matter what you are selling. And even to the point where, one of the things we have talked about is you do want to start by doing a weekly workshop that's really going to kick off everything. But let's say that you don't really even know where to start. And so you're trying to figure out, well, who should I be targeting? We're going to approach this a specific way. So we're not going to start making brand statements before we determine what we mean to the market. So in other words, we're going to approach the market with various offers, and we're going to determine which ones they want. We're going to determine what it is that we can offer, and we're going to let them decide what our brand is. Now, obviously, they're not going to tell us what it is, but they are going to be telling us what it is by what they buy. And so we're not going to go telling them what, we want to say about ourselves. We want them to tell us what they think of us by what they purchase. And that means that we're going to figure out what we want to offer to the market and what the market wants from us. So it's not even just what the market wants. What does the market want from you? If I go to the marketplace and I try to talk about, it doesn't matter. Let's say weightlifting, right? I mean, at this point, I could talk about it. I could probably find, content that I could use to teach on it. I could not be a credible source, and the market doesn't want to hear from me about that. So you've got to figure out, what does the market want to hear from you about? So, and the only way to determine that is really get in and make some offers. That's really why we're going to position ourselves as an educator. We're not going to go into a saturated market or even an unsaturated market by saying we are the expert yet. Right? We want to go in as an educator. We want to go in teaching. We want to go in showing people what is possible in their life, in what's possible in their business, what's possible in their sphere of influence. And then we use that podium, that position. Some people call it a platform. I don't like to call it a platform, because a platform is really for, quote, the experts. We're going in as an educator, and we're going to determine what the market wants from us. Right? We're going to use that platform to determine what the market wants from us. And this is really more of the Dan Kennedy school of things, right? There are a number of ways to do that. He even talks about becoming the obvious expert, but he also talks about letting the brand be determined by what it is that the market buys from us. So we're not going to go in saying what we are yet, and we are going to go in talking about our USP, but we're going to talk about what it is the market actually wants. But we do need to have what I call a baseline. So we got to start from someplace, and it's what some people call a control. It's a marker. It's where we start making adjustments to what it is we bring to the marketplace. For that reason, we start with an offer. Right? We go to the marketplace with a specific offer, not yet with a brand. We start with an offer so that we then start to see what it is the market says yes to and what it is the market says no to. Now, when I first got started, right, I really started with a training membership with multi-level marketers. So, and I had no idea whether or not it was going to work or not. I trained these people for about, I don't know, the better part of 3 weeks. I mean, this is back in 2011, 2012. And after I trained them for 2 weeks, almost every single day, I basically created a membership, and it was a one-time fee, and I put everything I had into this membership. I mean, in retrospect, it was probably not the best of offers, but I did determine what it is the market wanted, and some people did buy. And so basically, it was an opportunity for me to see, well, hey, you know what? Here's what people actually resonated with, and here's what they actually decided that they wanted. So it actually does work. It's something that I've actually done. It's something that anybody can do, is to train, determine, and then make an offer. Right. So start with an offer. That's where we're going to go. Even if you're doing your weekly workshop right now, and I hope that you're doing one, even if you're making an offer every week, we're going to be talking about how you make a good offer every single week. So before you even start the workshop, if you haven't started, that's actually a good, or even before you've picked a specific niche, set up an offer is what I'm going to say. So even before, because really at every point at which you do your workshop, you need to be making an offer anyway. So this is really not out of line with that. So get an offer set up. Now, again, don't let that be the thing that stands between you and doing a workshop. So if you don't have an offer set up yet and you're doing your workshop, keep doing it. If you have a workshop scheduled for next week, go ahead and keep your workshop, even if you don't have an offer set up. But do get an offer set up as soon as you possibly can. Set it up as complex as you want. So as complex as you can understand, set up your offer. I'll tell you what I mean by that. At a minimum, you need to have this level of complexity. It should be a low ticket offer on the front end. So basically, it's an introductory offer. It's something that says to people, here is what I'm about. Here is what I can teach you. Here's something that's a safe offer. If you go to the market where you're talking about $200, $300 when you first arrive and they don't know you, you've got to really do some convincing of people that they're going to have to overcome their reservations about people in general, right? But not even you, people in general, before they spend that much money with you. It really should have an upsell. So again, you can make it as complex as you want, but you can't make it any simpler than this. Your first offer that you go to the marketplace with needs to have a front end offer. It should also have a continuity offer, which is going to be your upsell. Now, Nan, I know that you might be used to seeing offers where your first offer is going to be a low ticket, then you've got something else behind that, something else behind that. And again, if you want to do those things, that's fine. I'm going to suggest that you start with a front end offer, and as its upsell, a continuity offer. Now, you can make that membership as complex as you want, but that membership needs to have some kind of continuity offer. And again, you need to get in the habit of offering people some kind of continuity. A lot of people wait before they offer the membership, before they ask people to pay the monthly. Now, you'll never find out whether or not people are going to pay monthly until you make an offer. You don't need to wait to do that. You need to get people used to, and specifically the people that are coming to your weekly workshop, you want to get them used to seeing that continuity offer. So that upsell should be a continuity offer. Now, again, you really should have a downsell, but if you don't want to do this, if that's a little too complex, that's fine. But your downsell should be whatever that upsell was. So in other words, let's say that you have a basic and advanced portion to your offer. Don't make that the second step. Make that the third step and only as a downsell. So basically what your offer is going to say is you're going to tell the customer they can get that upsell, or they can get all your customers for a monthly fee, right? They should see it, but they don't need to see it right away. You know, they need to see it, but then they're only going to see it as a unique offer if they turn you down for the monthly offer. Right. Now, again, that's as complex as it needs to be. That's a minimum level of complexity. Now, again, if you struggle with setting that up, we're going to talk about that on Thursday about how you set that up. But you need to have that level of complexity, because here's what it says. It says to people that you do want them to commit to you monthly. And you need to get people used to hearing that from you, specifically those people that are coming to your weekly workshop and those people that follow through on actually buying something. So it doesn't matter if it's your first offer, and it doesn't matter how cool your continuity offer is, get your continuity offer set up, make it the upsell to your front end offer, and make sure people see it when they actually decide whether or not they're going to buy it or not. And again, set this structure up quickly before you start your weekly workshop. So even before you, if you haven't started teaching on a regular basis, that's almost great. Get this offer set up and then start your weekly workshop. Now, I will tell you this, and the reason that you want to get these things up, because success will always catch you by surprise. I don't care who you are. When you start making sales, it's going to catch you by surprise. And if you don't have that offer set up, what will happen is you'll have people who would have been willing to commit to you on a monthly basis, but you didn't have the offer set up. So please do not wait to do this. And I'll tell you this, it has always happened to me personally, right? That anytime I go to a new level of success, it always catches me off guard. And I always wish I had that next level ready before I thought I was ready. Right. And so you want to make sure that even if you don't think that nobody's ever going to commit to you monthly or your high ticket or whatever the case is, you want to get these things set up and in the funnel as soon as you are ready to deliver them. Right. So don't set them up before you're ready to deliver them. But if you can deliver them, set them up. Now, you need to set this up in what's called a funnel. Right. So you definitely need to have a funnel in order to set this up. That means you're going to have some kind of shopping cart system. If you have a shopping cart system that you already have, you can use it. If you don't have a shopping cart system, you can use one for a fee with an affiliate network. So you don't have to have one in order to do this, but you do need to make sure that you're using a shopping cart system to deliver this funnel experience for your customer, that as soon as they make a purchase, they are going to see another offer. Now, you can offer a bump offer in some platforms. I know that Teachable allows you to set up a bump offer. I know that Thinkific allows you to set up a bump offer. That's fine. I think you should still have a funnel system where your customer is going to see that offer, even if they turn you down on the bump offer. In fact, you still need to have a funnel, even if you have a bump offer available to you. So you can set these up on Warrior Plus, on JVZoo, or on ClickBank. If you don't use any of these platforms, you need to find a platform where you can set up a funnel. Right now, these are marketplaces, and you don't have to have upfront money in order to pay for one. So let's say that you want to, you want to use a shopping cart. You don't necessarily want to pay for one right now. You can use an affiliate network because they're not going to charge you to use their shopping cart system. You only pay them every time you make a sale, right? So this is a reason why you can use those. Now, again, you want to be careful of doing this, and this is probably your second resort. Don't use this as your first resort. Obviously, if you have a shopping cart system, use it. If you can go ahead and get one that you're comfortable with, and so you can put this in place. And so basically, though, with an affiliate network, you're going to pay a percentage of every sale when you do this. Now, you might not be able to automate every piece of this if you have certain pieces, right? So maybe you have the platform to deliver your membership, but it's not connected to everything, and you may not be able to automate everything yet. So just be aware of that, and make sure you set it up so that it's easy for your customer to get access to everything if you cannot automate everything. But basically, even still, if you can, though, you want to get all these pieces lined up as soon as you can, right? So you do want to have it automated, but again, don't let the fact that you can't automate all of this keep you from setting up your funnel when you get started. Start with an offer. That's step one. Get an offer set up with a front end, continuity, and a downsell at minimum. Now, again, you can make it more complex than that, but get those things set up at minimum. Get them set up inside of a shopping cart system. If you don't have a shopping cart system, use an affiliate network in order to deliver it. Right? That's where we are so far. Now, automate as much as you can if you can. Now, you will always have to improvise automation. And I will tell you this, when the membership that I first started, we used, I think it was, what was it? It was the WordPress. It was a WordPress membership. And that WordPress membership worked fine until I did something to break it. I personally did something to break it. And things will happen whenever you have something automated, when you have a continuity program. They always happen. And so you may have to then go back and improvise the automation so that you are delivering certain links, and your backstop is always going to be to make your support link catchable, right? To make your support link findable, so that if the automation breaks down, make sure people understand where to get you by support. If you can use something like Zendesk, if you use something like Freshdesk, something that you know that email is always going to get delivered from your support, use it. Now, again, there are other systems that you're going to find, you're going to see. I think that there's one that comes with your hosting that's called OS Ticket. I'm going to say you want to be careful about using those because the email is dependent upon a system that does not always get your email delivered. So again, you can improvise automation by having your support there. This is what I did, and you will always have to do that if automation breaks down, right? So that's just something that I'll just tell you from my own experience. Now, make your offer customizable for the future. And this may sound a little strange, and it's something that you won't always hear, but you do need to make sure you do it because you're going to be creating a product line. And again, remember, what you're doing here is you're making this your first offer, but you've got to make it customizable for the future. Let me explain to you what I mean. Make sure that your sales letter, make sure that your delivery system, make sure your thank you page, make sure all of those things are customizable so that you'll be able to reuse them or clone them for your other offers, for the other offers in your product line. As you find out who your ideal customers are, this one sales page is going to change, right? Whatever that product is, your sales message is going to change. The shopping cart is going to change. The offer itself is going to change. Delivery page is going to change. And anything that you have adjacent to that offer is going to change. All this stuff is going to change as you get more familiar with who your customer is going to be. Remember, we're going to start with this process, but we're not gonna always keep this offer the same. And so the only way that you overcome that is by making sure that whatever process you use, whatever sales page system, with all of these things, make sure they are easily customizable when you have to make changes. You've got to make sure that they're easy enough for you to outsource to somebody, right? So that you don't have to do it yourself when you're making sales. Now, again, obviously, you're using a shopping cart system or you're using a page system like Optimized Press or something like Lead Pages. You can always go back in there and do it yourself. But you want to use one of these systems so that you can have somebody go in and make the changes yourself. You can outsource it if you have to. So while you're creating the offer and your delivery, here's what makes everything customizable. You have to document everything. And it is a hassle. It is a pain in the neck because you just want to get your offer done. You want to finish everything and you want to deliver it. I will tell you that while you are going through this process, take the extra time to document everything that you are making customizable. Why? So that when you get to the point where you have to have changes made, you don't have to go in and make them. Remember, your time is always going to be best spent figuring out marketing strategies, networking, and connecting with people. Your time is not best spent working on your sales pages. You need to outsource these things either to your VA or to somebody on Fiverr while you continue to make connections and while you learn new things. Listen, and I don't have this in my presentation. I will tell you that most of your time right now in the space that we're in online marketing, you're probably going to be spending in education. So you don't have time really. You don't really have time for a lot of operations. You don't have that time anymore. What you have to learn is so intense and is so expansive and getting more expansive all the time that you don't have time to spend time in operations. You have to spend time understanding how you can outsource the operations part to someone else. Again, it's going to make everything longer to do, but it's going to save you time in the long run. That's really what makes your system customizable, is the fact that you document it, right? So again, get pieces like, get systems like Optimized Press and Lead Pages and pages that you can go back and customize, but also go back and make sure that you can give that process to somebody else when you have to. Right now, now this is not going to be the case with your shopping cart system or your network. Now, you don't want anybody going in and fooling around with your shopping cart. Now that you don't want, right? You need to always have your hands on the shopping cart system, if at all possible. Now, tools that we use in order to do this. Personally, right now, I'm using Optimized Press. I use a shopping cart system. Typically, if we are working with PLR, our PLR community, we typically use Warrior Plus. And we don't use Warrior Plus necessarily because let's say it is over and above and super better than JVZoo. It's because it's super understandable, and it's one that I can outsource to someone if I have to, right? So again, whichever tools you decide to use, document your processes so that if you've got to hand them over to somebody, hand them over. But if you're going to use two platforms, document two platforms. So don't just go over to, let's say, I'm going to use JVZoo Warrior Plus, I'm going to use Pay Kickstart. Wonderful. That's fine. But you will find that will get out of control very quickly if you've got three systems that you have to memorize or three systems that you've got to operate if you can't hand it over to somebody else to help you, right? So again, tools are one thing, but you've also got to document. Right now, this is sort of related, but you've got to use a templating system. So basically, when you create sales pages, you create thank you pages, you need to do these things in a template if you are going to have a product line. And when we get to product snowball formula, you'll understand why this is going to be necessary. You're typically going to have, and you're working with a graphic designer, make sure your graphic designer creates things in the same format in every design. Now that might get a little tedious, but again, you want your designer to be able to create things for you in a format for you to be able to use them quickly, or again, for you to be able to outsource and have someone else put them into your paging system every single time. And again, now if they're creating something different every single time, you will have trouble and you will move slower creating your products when you have a second, third, and fourth product. Right? You will even have trouble if you've got to go back and change this product that we're creating initially. So again, make sure that when you have your designer create graphics for this product, try to make it so that they use that same pattern in your next product. So again, specify what it is you want when you're working with a designer, and then keep them and hold them to that same design every single time. Make that format easy to pass on to another designer if your designers are unavailable, right? Because sometimes you're going to come up and you're going to want to work with your designer and they're not going to be available, right? So you want to make sure that you can hand this over to somebody and say, hey, you know what? I want you to create this design, and here's the format that I want you to deliver this back to me. It's much easier if you have a format that you can rely on. It is a templating system. Now, it's obviously good if you're going to use a graphic design, you have that person on retainer, right? If you can pay them monthly, pay them monthly. But regardless, you want to use a system so that even when you figure out what you want to use, you can use it over and over again whenever you want it. Now, again, why are we doing this? Why am I saying this? And why is this important that we start by doing this way? This is so that you will be able to execute when we get to the stage in Xtreme Business Makeover. We're talking about product snowball formula. You're in motion. You're doing your weekly workshop. You're making offers on a regular basis. You want to be able to go to your templates and to create that second offer within a week. You're not going to be able to do that if every time you create a product, you got to go back and recreate the wheel over and over again. You cannot do that. You cannot operate, you cannot execute the product snowball formula if you've got to recreate the wheel every single time. Right now. So yeah, once again, templates I use. Again, this is why I use Optimized Press, and I don't even use Optimized Press 3.0. I use 2.0 because of the templating system that I've developed. Right now, again, at some point I may move up to Optimize Press 3.0. I have it; it's available to me. Um, but it doesn't matter, right? Which one I use. That's just the one that I use. There are people who have templating systems and they build those templating systems around the one they use. Whichever paging system you decide to use, build templates around those paging systems. And once again, please do not switch page builders. And I've said this before. You're going to get offered 10,000 page builders from now until the time you stop doing online marketing. Just because it's on sale, don't go to another page building system so that you will have another one in your quiver. Right? Make sure you're using and get used to using and figure out the workarounds and create templates around the one you use every single day. Right? Now, I want to talk specifically to PLR marketers, and for the next 5 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna break out of here. So I want to talk about some specifics as to how you take this first step of creating an offer, right? PLR is never going to be the entire offer, right? So even if you have a PLR product, you should be in the mindset that PLR is not the entire offer. PLR is raw material. So if you ever taken accounting, you know what I mean. It's called raw material. Basically, we're going to take that PLR and we're going to make it into something. It would be the basis of a product, but it's not going to be the entire product. What do I mean by that? In the case of videos, what I want you to do and sort of think about is how to be flexible. What do I mean by that? In some course, on some course platforms, right? You can make it the focus of the offer, the case study, right? So it's about necessarily, let's say that you're gonna take our Etsy PLR videos, make the focus of the offer the application, right? Make it the interview case studies, or make it the Etsy challenge. So in other words, one of the reasons why you want to do this, I know that we just talked about Gumroad a little while ago. Gumroad doesn't even allow you to use PLR as is. So if you came with a PLR sales letter, you'd be in jeopardy of having them reject your product. Whereas you may be able to use a platform that doesn't allow PLR if you, let's say, call it a challenge. And so in other words, the real benefit of the product for the customer is what you've added to it. So be flexible in terms of the way you deliver the offer, and you can use videos in just about any format that you want, as well as to charge more for them. You want to make your PLR content more of a bonus than the focus, depending on the platform. Now, in some cases, you can make the PLR product the entire product, right? But in other cases, you may want to make it sort of the addition, as not so much the focus if you're going to do it in your sales copy, right? And quite frankly, this is a good practice to have regardless of what platform you are on. You should be always structuring the offer so that it fits your target market, right? Always structuring your offer so that it fits your target market. Okay, any questions so far? Any questions? Right? Any questions? Okay, any questions? Okay, as I said, now there's more to this presentation. In fact, there's probably a whole nother section of this. If you want to be here for the Thursday session, make sure you're an Ultimate Insider, and you will get access to the continuation of this. And so we're at 30 minutes already, but there's quite a bit more that I've got to talk about in terms of you setting up this first offer for your business. And again, you want to be setting these offers up before you start doing your workshop. So again, where do you sign up? You sign up at plrshow.com/insider training. Now, if you are new to us, right? If you're new to us, please make sure to sign up at the plrshow.com and make sure you're signed up for our newsletter. Right? And you can get our newsletter at plrshow.com. Just sign up for our free academy, and you will then have access to our daily newsletter. Now, one thing I would ask you to do, that if this has benefited you in any way, please give us a shout out. Go to the plrshow.com/shout. right? plrshow.com/shout. And lastly, the PLR on Etsy, the launch price expires tonight. So we've added 24 bonus videos and 3 courses. You can get that at plrshow.com/Sajan S. You can pick that up there. And in the checkout area, you will get our bonus videos. And on Thursday, we will pick it up, right? So if you're an Ultimate Insider, we will pick up the rest of this from the elements of a good offer. And it's very important that you understand what you need to be putting into your product, what you need to add to your product, what you need to make sure is in your product to make it a good offer when you go to the marketplace. Now, again, please, if you're in motion, you're ready to get your offer out there, get it out there, right? Get it out there, structured the way we talked about, which is to make sure that you've got that front end offer, make sure you've got the continuities upsell. If you're going to have a downsell, make sure that's going to be the advanced version. But we're going to be talking about on Thursday, the elements of a good offer. Okay. So any other questions? Any other questions? Yeah, Michelle, I will definitely cover webhooks. Right, so I will cover webhooks. I'll probably do that inside for the insiders there. I'll definitely do that. Okay, any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, everybody. Well, thanks very much for hanging out with me here. I hope that this has been helpful for you. I will see you next Tuesday for the next phase. If not, I will see you on Thursday in Xtreme Business Makeover. Have a great night.